Hey everybody, Koa here. I want to talk to you about meal planning and meals and stuff that we do. Well, maybe not so much about the planning, but one of the meals I wanted to share with you that we're going to be cooking today is this meal only cost us about $1 per meal. It'll be 2 meals for 2 people, so it'll be dinner, and then for half of it, and the other half we'll use for lunch tomorrow while we're out at work, so we don't have to rush out anywhere to get anything. So we just put them in little Tupperware dishes. And anyway, so we have this is about a pound of these noodles. Comes out to about 5 cups. We figure 1 cup per person per meal, and so there's just over 4 cups here, so it all works out. And this is 80. We shop at Winco. We find that Winco has probably the cheapest as far as groceries. It is a cash only, so you can't use credit. So being frugal and trying to budget and not use our credit card, so it works out for us. And then we got ham, this nice ham steak. It's actually on here for $3.58. I don't know if you guys can see that there. There we go. $3.58 for this ham. And what we'll do is we will, probably can't see it. Oh. There we go. So we got this nice cast iron skillet. The fire is not on, so I don't have to worry, it's not hot. And then this pot over here, boiling water, which we'll go ahead and add these noodles to. Let's see. Let's take this off so it'll be a little faster. Easier. Put that in there. We will probably put some type of sauce in there. I'm not sure what sauce packet True wanted to use. I think she wanted a specific one. We'll let that boil and we'll stir that up. We'll use our wooden spoon. We were just talking about what type of stuff to use for cooking. One thing we're going to do is stop using plastic. Like these spatulas here, yeah, they're cheap. They're $1, $2, but they melt over time when you go to use them. As you scrape them along the bowls, the little plastic bits, they come off. So we're actually going to stop using these guys and either go with wooden utensils for cooking, or one thing you can maybe use is silicone based spatulas and utensils for cooking, because they don't melt. They have like a 6,000 degree temperature that they can withstand, so they disperse that heat really well, so they're not going to melt inside your dishes, and they're not going to leach any chemicals, as far as I know. But if you're worried about chemicals and plastic and things like that, or if you don't trust the silicone ones, wood probably is better. Yeah, food sticks to them, and even the cast iron, we're going to start using cast iron from now on, instead of using like the non-stick and these Teflon and copper and all this other much harder chemicals, because we find that even over time the non-stick ones, they're not non-stick anymore. I've had a non-stick copper pan for over a year. Food is still sticking to it, so I don't know what happened to it. It's just over time, maybe that's just how they are. They just wear out. And if I'm gonna have to scrub them and use oil in them and clean them anyway, might as well go to cast iron. Yes, they are a pain in the butt to wash because the food does stick to them, but I'm not going to get any of the harsher chemicals and whatnot and other things that they put into making that non-stick surface and all that other stuff. So the only thing in a cast iron skillet is iron, and a little bit of iron in your diet is good for you anyway. So, and the amount of iron that you're probably going to get from your cast iron skillet is probably very minimal. So don't use that as a supplement for your iron diet by any means. So anyway, that being said, I mean, that's really all I wanted to talk about, was the fact that we are able to produce a meal for $1 a meal per person. I mean, it only comes out to the pasta and the ham comes out just over $4, like $4.20 or something like that. I'm not sure if I mentioned it already. The pasta was 88 cents a pound. Yeah, I did mention that. So yeah, the pasta is 88 cents a pound, and the ham is only $3 and some change. So it comes out to be pretty good as far as cost goes. And you go, I mean, yeah, you gotta take the time to cook. It's not like, you know, oh, I just go to a fast food restaurant and get something real quick. You know, it does take a little more time to cook and prep and then clean. But when you take that time to do those things, the cost is so much better. Because I mean, we could go to a fast food restaurant, and we're here in California. I don't know what fast food costs out there, but we can get a meal. You know, like let's just say, for example, burger, fries, and a drink for 2 people ends up costing us over $20, plus the tax. And it's just like it's a sit-down restaurant price right there. I mean, you might as well go to a sit-down restaurant for paying $20 for fast food. It's kind of ridiculous. And you only get one meal out of it, you know. So I mean, if we take that same cost and we apply it to this, and we're talking $1 a meal per person, we can have 10 meals for that same price. So it's way better, and it's healthier. I have noticed that I've actually, since we've been doing this for the last month, I've actually lost some weight doing this instead of eating fast food so much. I can't exactly tell you how much I've lost, because I do work a more physical job as well, so I'm sure that also has a part to play in it. But yeah, I definitely lost weight by not eating the fast food. So added benefits, and I didn't have to go to the gym to do it. So, which is maybe another topic to talk about too, because we do have a gym membership, and so just got to let this sucker boil. Ooh, this might be done already. Still a little hard. I'm going to boil for a little bit longer, and I'll have to start cooking the ham. The ham shouldn't take too long to cook on this cast iron skillet. So, and then all we gotta do is add some seasoning to it. All right, so we've got the Winco Alfredo sauce seasoning. They're just little packets you can buy. You don't have to buy the little cardboard box with the noodles and the sauce packet in them. Since Winco has those big bins that you can just get any pasta that they have and just pour it into a bag, that's what we did with that. So they're not pre-packaged, and so we have to get these individual sauce packets. This is a Winco sauce packet, so it's not a name brand or anything like that. And I want to say they're less than $1. To be honest, I can't remember what the actual cost is on that. But let's say even if it is $1, then that just bumps our meal up to $1.25. You know, give or take. But still, I mean, how can you argue with $1.25 versus $22 or $21 for a fast food meal? This is way better for you. We're gonna bring this down to low heat. It's gonna be hot. So what do we have here? So I'm gonna use my little silicone oven mitts. I have one mitt, and this is for like putting down on the countertop or something like that. You can put something hot on top of it, but it's got a little pocket here which doubles as a mitt. Woohoo! So I'm gonna go put this in the strainer real quick. All right, rinse all that starch off of there. And you want to cook them. I mean, you can't really ruin pasta. Well, I guess you can ruin pasta if you cook it for too long. what I usually do, I don't like it al dente. If that's the right way to pronounce that word. When it's really hard, I don't like my pasta hard. I like it soft. But what I try to do is I try to get it just before it gets too soft, and then I pull it out. So that way, when I do cook it, because it's going to cook it a little bit longer with some milk and the sauce here. Let's see. It says to add 2 tablespoons of butter. Which we do have. Nice thing, I love these little butter sticks, sticks of butter, because they have that little tablespoon markers on here, so you just cut off right where you need it to be. And it says it needs 2 tablespoons, so we can cut it right about there. It's a little bit less because it's kind of used up a little bit on the end here, but that's alright. So what I'll do is I made an indentation in here without having to really cut up the paper. Now I can just plop that in there just like that. Let's see, what is next? 3/4 cup of milk and sauce. And then just stir occasionally and let simmer. Alright, so we've got our really inexpensive measuring cups. You don't really need to go too expensive with these. So just get the plastic ones. We did say 3/4 of a cup. 3/4 of a cup. So we've got a 1/4 here, and we got a 1/2 a cup. So if we add 1/2 a cup and a 1/4 of a cup, and then we got 3/4. Since we don't have an actual 3/4 cup on here, just do a little bit of math. If you guys remember your high school math, or junior high, I don't know where they do fractions at what age, but it's been a long time since I've been in school, so, but I haven't forgotten my fractions. So there's 3/4 milk. I suppose if you don't like milk, you can always use almond juice or whatever non-milk product that you like to use. We like reduced milk, or like 2% milk. I don't like the whole fat, and I try to eat less fat, but at the same time, skim milk or non-fat milk is just, it's like milk flavored water to me. I never really get used to that. So, but even still, like I said, you know, cooking at home, even with 2% milk, you know, still pretty healthy. I'm losing weight, so all is well. Let's turn this up a little bit higher. Basically just mixing up the milk and the butter, just making sure, trying to get the butter to melt completely in here so it's nice and even before you put the sauce packet in there, because what will happen is the sauce will clump around the butter, and the butter won't melt. It'll just kind of stay inside this little globule of sauce, and you don't want to be digging through here, enjoying your meal, and all of a sudden bite into a big old piece of butter, unless you like butter. So that's all nice and melted. Go ahead and add our sauce packet here. Oops, almost opened it over the stove. That wouldn't have been good. That would be a mess I did not want to clean up. So let's stir that around. Now It does not say like, how much pasta to use with that packet, like if it's 2 cups of pasta or half a pound of pasta or anything like that. So this may be a little thin on the pasta side, but we're trying to save money, so you know we just have to live with the fact that you know it's just not as thick. But we could leave it in here, just keep stirring it around. It will start to thicken up a little bit as it starts to boil out, so no big deal. And what you could do is you could add some vegetables, either cooked vegetables. You can put corn in here, or carrots, or whatever vegetable you like. You can actually mix it in with the noodles at this point and cook it in there, or you can cook it separately. It depends on how you like your meals, whether you like your vegetables mixed in with food or separate, things like that. But I've had vegetables cooked in with my pasta before and perfectly fine. I actually kind of like it that way, since I'm really not a vegetable person. I don't like vegetables too much, but you got to eat them. Nice thing about wooden utensils, I can leave it on there and not have to worry too much. It may burn, may turn black or something like that, but that'll just add character. It's not going to catch on fire. It is on low heat, so don't worry. Next, we'll be getting into the ham and cooking it on here on the cast iron skillet. Now, with cast iron skillets, you do want to pre-oil your pans and stuff like that, and that's already been done, so I don't have to worry about that. Plus, cooking with the ham, the juices and the fat from the ham will actually add a layer of fat, grease, oil, and stuff like that in here. So that'll all be fine. Let's see. Where are my kitchen scissors? Here they are. So this is a ham steak on bone, or with the bone. There we go. Nice. Almost forgot I left my diet soda in there. I'm still drinking soda. I know it's bad for you, but I'm trying to wean myself off. It's a slow process. Caffeine is very addicting. Just like nicotine and all that fun stuff. I mean, sugar is very addictive too. Actually, that's why they put a lot of sugar and salt in our food, because it tastes good and we like it, and it's a very addictive chemical. So at least with a diet, it is sugar free. So gotta wean myself off of one thing at a time. Trying to wean yourself off of sugar and caffeine at the same time is really, really hard. I've tried it so many times, and I'm always finding myself back in it, eating, drinking, Coke, regular stuff. So it's really, really hard. So I got this sucker on, and that'll probably take a while to cook, and you probably don't want to be here for all that. So you probably want to see it though, right? Look at that ham steak on bone. And just gotta let that sucker cook for a little bit, let it get heated up, and I'll bring you guys back when it's all nice and brown, so you guys can see that. And what we're actually gonna do is, once it's cooked, I'm gonna get out my meat cutting board and then put that, because I have a separate cutting board, one for meat and one for vegetables. Matter of fact, I can show you what the difference is. So I don't know if you can see, you can kind of see it on the camera there. See this little groove here? This is actually for catching the juices in the meat, so it doesn't spill out on your counter. So that's your meat cutting board, and this one here is a vegetable cutting board. You see there's no grooves on it, so it doesn't catch anything. So that's how we know the difference between our meat and our vegetable cutting board. So I'll put it on there, I'll dice it up to little cubes, and then I'll put it into the pasta, and then we'll have a fancy macaroni and ham dinner. See, the sauce is getting nice and thick now, so that's good. Starting to look good in there. Let's see, what do we have in the way of vegetables? At this point, if I'm putting vegetables in here this late, we have canned, which I don't really prefer canned. I prefer either frozen or fresh, but since we probably do have some fresh vegetables, but I don't think I want to use that in here. I think what I'll use is some frozen vegetables. And because they're frozen, I don't want to stick them in the microwave. I don't really want to nuke my food. I tried to use the microwave as least amount as possible. It is technically radiation that you're applying to your food to get it hot. That's how a microwave works. It uses microwaves. Not sure why I'm using the wooden spoon for this, but now it's too late. I contaminated my wooden spoon with the hand, but that's alright. I just won't use it for the pasta. I'll wash it off before I stick it back into the pasta. So what I'll do for the vegetables, since this is frozen, I'm going to need it really quickly. I'm going to get a bowl of hot water. Where did my bowl go? Oh, there we go. So to defrost your, so put the corn in a bowl of hot water. So instead of defrosting it in the microwave or letting it, since I don't have time to let it sit out and defrost because I kind of got ahead of myself, just put it in a bowl of hot water, or you can leave it in the sink, plug up your sink. They are pre-packaged. Obviously you're not going to be eating the package, so it doesn't really matter too much. But you probably prefer to have something clean to let it sit in. So it's going to sit in a nice clean bowl with hot water. And that should defrost it enough in just a few minutes. It should allow me to add it into the pasta, and then I can mix it up. That way we can still have some vegetables. The skillet is this cast iron skillet is the perfect size for this ham. However, unfortunately, it's not cooking. The heat is not spreading out very even. I'll give you a quick peek here. As you can see here, it is still not quite cooked here on the end, and over here it's still a little pink as well, because the electric skillet is actually like right just in the middle here, in the center area, not over here on the side. Oh well, but it is cooked, so we could push it down like this right here in the center a little bit. That will let it get nice and brown there. The same thing has happened over here on this side. You can probably see that. It's a little pink over here. I'm pretty sure these are usually pre-cooked already. They do cook them lightly to begin with, so we're not really doing a whole lot. We're basically just making sure to cook all the bacteria and stuff like that out of here. And it will get diced up to smaller pieces, and I will stick it in there and cook it up a little bit more with the pasta. And since I am using this now for my for that, I'm going to have to dirty a new spatula to mix up the pasta, make sure we don't want it to sit. Put that on low. You don't want it sticking to the bottom. And I had a spatula little thing to sit down, but not quite sure what happened to it. So what I will do is I will just use a little Tupperware bowl and put my spatula on that. So it works in a pinch. just to kind of keep it off the counter. I don't want to have to wipe the counter down. And I think we are done with this ham. It's nice and brown. That bone is coming out up there. Let's turn this off. And do keep in mind that the whole thing is cast iron, even the handles there, so that's going to be super hot. So what I'm going to do is use my oven mitts again. And I'm just going to take it off of the burner. One side has the padding right there. This side does not. So make sure that you do grab it with the right side. Take that delicious ham off of there. I'm going to let it cool down first before I stick it onto my cutting board here. I don't know if it would melt, so I don't want to test that at all. So I'll just let that sit over there, let it chill for a little bit. Oh, and my corn is probably defrosted by now. It is enough defrosted. It's still cold in some spots, but a lot of it is defrosted. We're 2 people. With all this pasta, we can probably get away with half. So I will cut a small slit, not a small slit, but cut the opening up here across the top. And I will pinch it and let it fold over and just dump it in there like so. Voila! What would be good right now would be a little food clip. And you can just clip the end of it here and stick it back in the freezer. Since I don't have one available, I do have some somewhere, but I don't want to go looking for it, so. Put that back in the freezer and save it for another day. It's probably way longer than either of us were expecting. Taking me half an hour to cook this meal. Let's test the ham. It's not too hot, so I'll probably see if I can't transfer it over to my little cutting board here. And don't worry, I had washed my hands beforehand, so no worries. No need to complain. Hey, he's touching the ham. And I'm not like a professional chef or anything like that. I rarely even cooked even up until this point. We've always eaten fast food all the time, so I'm not exactly sure what the best knife. Very tasty. I'm not sure what the best knife is to use for this situation, so I'm going to use this one. It's a knife. It cuts. If I didn't have this, I'd probably use a steak knife. I don't think it would really matter, but you know what would probably help me with this though is a fork, so I can just kind of hold it down, and I'm just going to start slicing this thing up and kind of go in between the teeth of the fork, the prongs, to help kind of guide my knife so I can get nice even slices here. That one fell off my cutting board. It was fair game. Okay, that took forever to cut all that up, so I figured at least I can let you guys watch me put it in here. So dump the ham, all those diced bits, into the pasta. You know, this isn't glorious. It's not like some 5-star restaurant type of meal. You're not going to pay top dollar for this, but that's, you know, frugal living. Yeah. Beggars can't be choosers, but I can tell you that this does smell delicious, and it will probably taste delicious. and I will have one hell of a mess to pick up later. Okay, now that's thoroughly mixed in. Set that over there. I'll let you guys see this. You probably can imagine what it looks like, but there we go. Ham and pasta with rigatoni sauce. Or no, sorry, not rigatoni. Alfredo. Alfredo sauce. It's one of my favorite sauces for pasta. Well, that will be our meal for tonight and lunch tomorrow. And again, it costs less than $5 total, so like $1 or something change per meal. And how can you argue with that? Alright guys, well, thank you for hanging out with me today and watching me do this. I'm sure a lot of you probably quit the video a long time ago, so I'll try and make it as short as possible. But anyway, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned with us for our next video.